But laughing is good for your health and prevents Alzheimer's.
So raise your glass, even though he's not the best, but at least he made the top 5.
Yeah,
Let's talk about some improv.
No, we do need to talk about improv because they got a big show coming up Tuesday, November 7th at Zell Rec Center, 7 o'clock, one show.
Actually, the show starts at 6:30.
6:30.
And you probably want to come at least 15 minutes early because we have a pre-show warm-up guy, Larry Rotkin, who's out in the audience, and you never know what Larry is going to do. He walks around the audience. We tell people to bring snacks and adult beverages, and he samples the best of the snacks. And if you come early, you get the opportunity to fill in 3x5 index cards and answer one of two questions, and your answer to the question may actually wind up in the show.
Awesome.
The show is called Mostly Improv. We're going to do, and that will include 2 fully scripted comedy pieces. It's kind of a knockoff of Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's extremely funny.
Okay.
We tested it in front of the Mercedes-Benz Club, and people needed seatbelts to stay in the chairs.
So I'd say get there then at 6 o'clock then.
I'd say that, show up. If you have the premier seats at 6 o'clock, if you have the general admission seats, show up at 6:10 or 6:15. We also decided to add 2 more shows outside of the Villages.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. We're adding 2 shows at the Joke Joint in Summerfield. That's run by Alex Soto. You can find them on Facebook. They have their own page. We're going to be at the Joke Joint on December 8th. That's a Friday, 1 p.m. show. Okay. And we're going to be there again in January, on January 10th, for a 7 p.m. show. At the Joke Joint, for the evening shows, they serve a Cuban-style meal, and your admission gets you 2 adult beverages.
Are the 3 shows the same? So if I wanted to come to all 3, are they each one going to be individualized or different?
You probably see, if you came to all 3 shows, content of the shows, the scripted numbers won't be done again at the Joke Joint. It'll be the pure improv material. And when you're dealing with pure improv material, the framework might be the same, but you have no idea what the characters are going to say.
Gotcha.
Okay. A scene called Fixed Lines. And that'll be in all 3 shows. But in that scene, the audience tells the 3 players where they are and what they're supposedly doing. So that makes it different. And then we have a deck of fixed lines. Each character can say only 2 lines. Of the two of the 3 characters pick their cards, and they tell their audience what their lines are. They're silly lines, and things like "I want a hug," or "Are we there yet?" The storyline begins with something we took from the audience. Okay. So
different every time.
It's different every time. If it goes well, your face muscles will hurt in the audience because you will have laughed so much. Now, people who want to go to see us at the Joke Joint, the reservation system is a little bit different there. You simply call the Joke Joint. Their telephone number is 352-871-0909. Okay. And you'll actually speak to Alex or his wife, who'll put your name down on the reservation card and how many seats you want. They only have 80 seats in the whole place.
Okay. Now, have you already did one of these shows?
No, we've never done a show
a show like this. Well, that's not exciting.
Oh, yeah. We liked it because it was a smaller room, okay? We liked it because we don't have a language requirement. Okay, yeah. When we're doing shows in the Villages, we have to be careful about using polite language. But up at the Joke Joint, there's no such thing as offensive language requirement.
Yeah.
We can,
So the Villages Improv, let's go back.
Sure.
How long has it been going? How many shows at rec centers do you do a year? And how does if someone wants to join and do this, they're new to the Villages, how do they join it?
Those are great questions. Make sure I cover all of them.
Okay.
The Villages Improv started about 7 years ago. It was one of the first clubs I joined when I got here 6 years ago. And after about 6 months, the guy who was running it said, "Hey, Mike, you're pretty good at it. I just took a job in Boston for $200,000 a year. I'm leaving. I'm closing the club, or B, you have to take it over." And I went, "Oh shit, I don't want to take it over." And I had joined a bunch of acting clubs, so I found a guy named Greg Golden in one of the acting clubs. I said, "Hey, Greg, you want to take this opportunity with me?" And he said, "Sure, I'll help you." And we took it over. Now we have about 40 members. Okay. It's a very active club. We meet the first 4 Mondays of the month at Rohan. The easiest way to join is to show up at Rohan before 6:30. If you like what we do, we charge $10 a year in dues. Okay. It was enough to get us down to a core of 30 people who actually wanted to learn and do improv.
And we're dedicated to it.
Yeah, well, they have other things in their lives as I do, but the idea was we want to have a core group that knows the routines.
You missed one question. How many shows a year do you guys do as your club group?
In the years that I've been running it, we've done 2 public shows a year at a large rec center auditorium, and we usually do between 2 and 6 club shows a year. Like November 2nd, we're doing a private show for a small club of 40 people. And we throw all the money we make in the shows into the scholarship fund. And at the end of the year, which is May, we give away $1,000 scholarships to high school students at the Villages High School in performing arts.
Outstanding.
So that's Monday nights,
6:30 to 8:20.
To 8:20 at Rohan. If you want to join, come a little bit early to introduce yourself to Mike, and Mike will let you sit in for the show. No pressure to join or not. And even if you didn't want to do the improv on the stage, there's still other things they could do to be involved.
That's an interesting part. We need someone to run the curtain. We don't run it a lot, but we have a curtain operator. We have a lot of props that need to be moved on and off stage. We learn from experience that although each player is wearing a head mic, okay, and we have 16 of them, sometimes something goes wrong during the show. So we need a technical guy or lady on stage that can check the microphone pack, change the batteries.
A fix-it person.
Yeah. We need someone to move tables on stage. It's like stagehands, and so we have a number of roles. The more people we have on it, the better.
That would be an easy way to join the improv too, is to go and say, I don't want any pressure to be on stage making jokes, making people laugh, but then they could see and get more comfortable. And then on Mondays, they could practice it.
They could step in, right.
And build up to being more confident and be able to be on the
there were very few people who step into it and are fantastic at it.
November 7th. 6 o'clock, get there, Zell, and expect to.
Oh, you have to go online to get your tickets.
Online, and how do they do that? Is that all events?
I'll say it slowly.
Okay.
My dot all events events dot in / mostly improv, and that'll take you to the ticketing site.
Do you know the cost of that?
Yeah, the general admission seats will be $8. That goes to the club into the scholarship fund.
Oh, awesome!
We've already paid for all of our equipment. Hopefully, we won't have to buy another board.
Well, that's for a good cause.
Yeah, and it's nowhere near as expensive as going to see Brad Sherman at $95. But Colin Mockery and Brad are a very funny team.
Oh yeah, they are.
Thanks to him, we've got the best league to play in. It's not a boast, just a toast to number 5.